So we're gonna start this way. I'd pick somebody up from the waiting room. They might be seen by the emergency physician first or emergency nurse, but if I'm here, I'll be the first contact who will come back. This is the main entrance into the ER if you had any injuries that an ER doc needs to see you for. Otherwise, you can come back here. We'll go through the back entrance so that you're not seen by other patients too, so a little bit more private. Our ER is all locked too, it's secure, so nobody can just walk in. And now we start by putting a do not disturb sign up so that we're not interrupted during the exam. And at this point, I'd ask somebody just to take off their clothes if they're not wearing the clothes they were wearing during the assault, and put on a gown, and I've got a blanket, and I'll always bring fresh warm blankets too. And I will collect evidence up to 5 days after an assault. Past that point, our bodies are healing, biological evidence is gonna wear away, you won't have that person on you forever. So I won't usually collect past that point, but even if you've eaten or drank or thrown up or peed or pooped or had diarrhea or showered, I still am gonna collect evidence, and we're gonna talk through maybe what we could or couldn't find too. So I would open up a kit so that we can talk about that if somebody did want a kit. From the head to the toes, I look, listen, and feel to your chest and your lungs and your abdomen, and your, making sure there's no tender areas, which you've already had an exam by an ER physician and an ER nurse, but this is just kind of that more thorough step now that I understand more about your story. Strangulation, just to go back to that, we can show 0 injury, so there's no external injury whatsoever, but we can create these microembolisms in our necks and in our vessels there that then can throw up to 3 to 4 weeks later, and so people can actually die from strangulation injuries up to a month after. And so that's a big one that I like just to talk to victims about. So after that, I always offer a break too. You're more than welcome to watch a movie or listen to music, talk to the victim advocate. It does not need to be cold and dark and uncomfortable in here. I want to make sure that you're as comfortable as you can be. So our first step is clothing. And with that, if you're coming directly from the scene or you have not showered or changed, I'll lay these drapes on the ground. And then the second drape is so that we can collect anything that might fall from your clothing or your hair or your person in any way. And every single article of clothing goes in a different evidence bag. So one sock will go in, another sock, anything we might think that we might find some evidence off of, that would all each go in an individual bag. So once again, more evidence that I would have collected and be taking with me. Each step correlates with a different envelope. Oral swabs, or if there's any oral penetration, there's a certain way that I can swab to see if there's any DNA evidence from there. And everything's all using these sterile Q-tips. So following swabbing in the mouth, I'll then create a slide with those Q-tips. So we also would look for foreign stains on the body. I would be able to swab for the foreign swabs for that. So let's say on like the abdomen, I could swab for that right directly from the skin. The other thing that I can do is fingernail clippings, especially during a struggle like a strangulation. If you're trying to fight against that person who strangulated you and you might be scratching yourself, but you also might be scratching them. We can find skin cells under that somebody would put their hand on, and a clean pair of fingernail clippers, and so we can clip the nails themselves, or it has the scraping mechanism, and they can also scrape under the nails. So if your nails are too short, or if you just got a manicure and you really don't want your nails cut, that's fine too. It's really my idea is not to create any further discomfort for you.